What type of techniques can you use to make relevant and convincing radio programs? That is why we are here. We are not here for big book, no. We are here to get just the basics and then enable those who are not able to be here to read. For those of you who are going to why do you think that the majority of the street children, you see, who have no place to sleep, you go to the railway station in Yaoundé, you have a horde of children. They have no parents, you don't know who their parents are, they don't know where to sleep, they don't have anything to eat. Why is it that all of them are from the northern regions of Cameroon? And why is it that from the number you found at the railway station in Yaoundé, about 90% are from the far north province? It shows you the gravity of the street. We always say that people from the northern want to send their children to school. What does a child prefer? To find something somewhere to eat, or to go and sit in class and shine? You saw those people migrating southward. In fact, that is how the vegetation is decreasing like that. If you go to some areas in you again, we discover stumps of trees. It shows that the whole place was a forest. Where is the forest now? Don't mind, because if you make a vision, we still have forest. If care is not taken, what we are seeing here, it will not take long before we have the same thing. And that is what my elite will be telling us next, because that is our area of specialization. I just want to make you understand that
a major part has a role to play in this climate change. And from what we see now, the government seems to have given contracts for forest deforestation for 25 years. After these 25 years, what are the policymakers thinking about this climate change? How can we then stop it? Because we need the money, and we want to still cut down the forest.
What is a simple definition of climate change? For example, we are, let's say, radio presenters. What can you tell an old mother at home what climate change is all about, for her to be able to understand?
But how can you make your own mother or your own father know what climate change is? That picture shows that we still take climate change to be something that is very fast. There are techniques of making our grandmothers know that there is what we call intra-linguistic translation. That is, we translate something within the same language. We can translate English into English. Okay? Now, text like legal text, like medical text, like climate change text, all those things require intra-linguistic translation, and that is one of the reasons why you are here. And when we shall be discussing how to produce radio programs, we'll be able to tell you what you can do with a difficult concept that you barely understand. How do you translate it in your vernacular? One of the things is to explain the functions of that concept. If you say climate change and you don't know precise word, one-to-one correspondence, you can talk about the changes that have happened, the consequences. You can talk about the disadvantages and the advantages of what has changed. That is explaining. You don't define, you explain. You can explain the functions, you can explain the effects, you can explain any other aspect. I'm related to take guard. The word is guard. When you take guard, what is that assignment? Taking the care, not destroying. So we should be able to understand that according to the Bible, environmental destruction is sinful. That's what we call theological ecology, right? It's sinful. You don't have to destroy the environment carelessly. You need to destroy it when necessary because you want to live, because you want to survive on. So, once more, we are grateful, and that statement is really important. Yes, maybe you should.
My name is curious of questions.
Yes.
There are
the mayor, that is, how do you recycle plastic material, especially plastic papers, these bags? The mayor of Kuseri embarked on a project which was funded by, by an institution in Denmark. You take a good quality climate change, you say don't cut down trees, don't do this. It is not a matter of don't cut down trees. If you cut down trees, what happens? That benefit or danger must be expressed. Otherwise, it doesn't carry anything. So we should take this very, very seriously. Somebody can still ask a question.
I said as communicators, we should avoid using the negative, as being negative. Now there are situations when, for example, as humans, we love to see the bad sides of things before we believe in it. Let's say, for example, climate change. If you tell people to plant trees, they might say that it's normal, people plant trees and people cut trees. But I think if we give them, if we show them the consequences or how people are dying and the situation is really getting bad, showing it from a negative fact perspective of the climate change, I think it will give the people have you give them they'll feel more impact about the message than when you use the positive side.
Yes, I agree with you. You are absolutely correct. It's just that you did not probably see the negative in the sense in which I used it. Okay. I did not use it that don't tell them about the dangers or the disadvantages that they stand to get. That still is negative in another sense. No, that is not what I mean. I mean that don't you avoid using the negative form. There is a positive form of language. Okay. And the negative form of language. So avoid, when you are communicating, use as much as possible the positive form instead of the negative form. I mean, it's a question of language. It is not a question of the advantages, the disadvantages, or the... No, that is not the sense in which I am.